Welcome in, no Ketchup. November 6th, Friday. Big Nick the Quick with me.
Election week, election month.
Election month. We're going to talk favorite stories of the week. You know, we got to reflect before we go into the weekend. So we're going to talk our favorite stories of the week. We'll do a weekend preview. NFL Week 9 coming up. Big games in there like there is every week. We're talking a little college ball too. NBA restart. Looks like it's locked in. Me and Nick had a conversation about LeBron. I want to touch on that and see what the people think about my take. Nick thinks LeBron he's not gonna stand for it.
2021.
And then we'll close the show. Best bets, aka winners. Got to get y'all right for the weekend. Get a little extra cash in your pocket. Let's get into it.
Now look at Mossy. Really? Oh, so that's how you're going to play it. You going to do this? Okay, fine. That's all I needed. That's all I needed for him to do that. And it became personal with me.
Speaking of things getting personal.
Yeah, real quick. What's really good, my people? Welcome into No Ketchup Sports Talk via Chicago. I'm your host, Sean Little. Big Nick the Quick on the line. Friday. We here. Things getting personal. The country's divided. How did we get here?
I know.
So much to talk about. Not a lot of laughing matter, but I mean, how me and Nick get through life, we just kind of laugh all the way through. That's the only way we can make it through staying. But Big Nick the Quick, what's going on with you?
Man, what's going on, man? Just watching the show, man. Watching the show as it plays out.
This is like the whole reality TV thing was a smash, in the early 2000s. This is your ultimate reality television show.
Yeah.
This is what it is.
And we're all cast members.
And we're all cast members. Exactly. We still don't have a president. It's an interesting time. And what you were about to say something about stuff getting personal?
I mean, yeah, just watching that Jordan clip. That's why I took it personal. I'm just thinking about the last couple of days of hopefully soon to be former President Trump taking things very personally. With that press conference, with his Twitter attacks, attacking the city of Philadelphia, attacking the city of Detroit. Detroit's been through enough. Leave them alone. You know what I mean? Attacking election volunteers. It's just like, what else, man? This guy is going scorched earth. It was embarrassing. It was one of those things, like, you ever watch something and you're like, even though obviously like we don't love Donald Trump and we have no love for Donald Trump and we don't care for him, it was just cringeworthy to watch someone go through something like that, because you're just like grasping for straws. And that's what that whole press conference was yesterday. He's just like, and this happened in Philadelphia, and someone dead voted in Philadelphia, and then like 100,000 ballots, where'd they come from? I don't know. You tell me. Like, it's just like, yo, dude, my man, like, just hang it up.
I was talking. Well, first off, before we get to the sports, we gotta touch on this because there's just too much stuff going on. But I was talking to my cousin. It's like, yo, this was always the plan. If they won or if Trump won, everything was Gucci. Cool. Mm-hmm. We keep it moving. If he lost some big states that he typically wins or that the right typically wins, then it would be a problem. And there'd be voter fraud and people saying all types of stuff to discount Biden winning the election. So like, this was always the plan, and it's what it is.
And then he told all of his people not to early vote. And now he's wondering why, when they're counting all the early voting ballots, he's not getting any. And it's like, this guy is incredible.
This guy's amazing.
He's incredible.
He's like, I can't. I mean, he's like, I knew I knew a majority of the mail-ins were going to be Biden, because I mean, bro, you told your people not
for
mail,
months, for the last 3 months, do not do vote in mail.
Yeah. And he's like, I didn't think they would all be Biden. It's just like, well, I mean, what did you expect?
What did you expect? Your people listen to you.
Right.
You told them to drink Lysol, and they started doing that. So I mean, what the fuck? Tell them not to vote early. They're not going to do it. So
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What a joke. I got more on this in our story of the week, but yeah, man, it's just I think I've spent the last 3 days flipping between CNN and Fox.
Yeah.
And it's just, if you ever want to just get two completely different pictures of the country that we live in, really spend some time going between those two channels. Like, they both obviously have their flaws, but Fox News, as you get like more into the Fox News, like their regular quote unquote regular news reporting is kind of whatever. Once you get into their talking heads, it's like it's ball game over. Once you bring the Tucker Carlson and the Laura Ingrams on television, dude, it's over with. It's a whole other ball game of just like of madness, and that doesn't happen over. I mean, I guess some people would say like Cooper and Lemon and those guys, they're ultra left, but not like the Carlsons and the Ingrams and the shit that they're feeding to you every night. It's truly incredible.
It really is. And people say like you should always go to the other side, and get their opinion and see what they're talking about. So I kind of and I agree with that. So I throw on Fox News just to kind of see what they're talking about. And more times than not, I throw it on and I'm like, yo, what is going on over here?
What is going on?
I tweeted, I don't understand, bro, why all their guests have these dry erase boards. And they're always like writing stuff on it, and they're like, oh, well, 20%, and they're like pointing, and then like they'll switch it, and then like they'll cut someone else, and they'll cut back, and then they'll like, it's like, why does everyone have a dry erase board over here?
My favorite thing is when they start talking about the mainstream media, and it's like, last time I checked, Fox is the most watched news channel in the country. So it's like, how can you rail against like Laura Ingraham talking about the mainstream medium? I looked it up. Laura Ingraham makes $12 million a year. Seriously. If that ain't mainstream, hey, you underground with 12 milli, God bless you. But y'all don't get much more mainstream than that. So I mean, like, yeah, it's just like these people are just. It's absolutely incredible. You know what I mean? It's highly entertaining. It's sad to know that there are people who watch that all day and end up believing a lot of that shit. But man, it's just,
yeah.
What are you gonna do?
And we ain't gotta harp on it too much more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'll get into. But I do got something to come back on this on my storyline of the week. So
okay,
we'll get back to it. We'll circle back.
I'm pulling up something right now. What you got planned for the weekend before we get into these topics real quick?
Man, I don't know. It's beautiful weather. Probably just kicking it outside, enjoying it, man. When it's like this, you got to take advantage because we know trouble's right around the corner. It's November.
Yeah, it is November.
It could be snowing next week, so. So if it's gonna be 70 all weekend, man, take it easy and then be disappointed on Sunday.
Oh wow, here we go. You already calling it?
I mean, even if they win, it's disappointing.
It's just their whole existence.
It's just their whole existence is disappointing. So,
all right, I'm gonna let you lead the way. Let's get into it. Favorite story of the week, Big Nick the Quick. What you got for me?
Oh, we're coming right back to it. Yeah, mine is if you see my ticker right now, it says John King should hold out. Regardless of what you think, whatever side you might be on, if there's one person who's been putting in a shift this week, it's John King over at CNN with this map. He is on every single show. I've fallen asleep to this a couple times and woken up at 3 a.m, and John King is still on the map telling you what's going on. He's got it memorized by county. He's jumping between Pennsylvania, Nevada, Arizona, Georgia.
Yeah.
He'll tell you about a county with 5,000 votes or a county with 500,000 votes. He's on Wolf Blitzer's show. He's on Cooper's show. He's on Don Lemon's show. I was watching it, man. He's pretty much like, I know we always give like a lot of love to like Chris Hansen or was it Scott Hansen, whichever one of them does Red Zone. Yeah, he's pretty much been doing Red Zone for 24 hours a day for 4 days straight.
He is he's Scott Hansen for real.
On steroids. Like on a quad box. Steroids. He could knock out a quad box in 5 minutes. That's nothing for him. He's over here running from maps, multiple different screens. They got the fake Pornhub banners coming down on him. My man should 100% hold out for more money. He didn't expect to be doing this deep into, next week, it looks like. And at first, it was kind of getting on my nerves watching this map shit. Now I'm just fascinated by it. Yo, like literally how he's getting this information out, and they're just like, yo, go to North Carolina and tell us. He's like, yeah, I got you. In this county over here in Williamson County, there's 800,000. This is like, yo, this dude is just on it, putting in a shift every single show. Shout out John King. Salute,
John King. I feel it, man. It's been an interesting week. Ain't no doubt about that.
But he wins. He's putting in the shift, man.
He put in.
Hold out. He probably shouldn't show up on today.
He should be on his Dak.
Yeah.
Don't be like Dak,
man.
John King.
Like, we're gonna shoot out to John King. Like, where's John? Need that.
Yeah, let's shoot over to John, and John is not there no more. John like, nah, bro, y'all not getting the check.
John's like, I'm at accounts payable right now. I need my money.
That's funny, man.
Yeah. So that's my storyline of the week. Is shout out John King, man.
Favorite story of the week. I feel it. All right, my favorite story of the week is, and I'm interested to actually hear your take on this. I don't have any notifications on my phone because I'm already on my phone enough. And if I get like news notifications and stuff like that, it would never stop buzzing.
You've
right?
been on this, right? You started to like watch your time on social medias with like that screen time and all that. I get the
screen alerts. It's like, yo, bro, it's like, yo, this is how long you've been on. Time to hop off. Yes.
Yeah.
It really helps me because like I could kind of get in there and just start cruising around. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you get lost in it for sure.
But so I don't get the notifications. So I get a text about, you see what happened with Trubisky. And I'm like, bro, I don't care. Stop. Like, don't even send me any of this. Like, I could care less about like what happened to Trubisky. You know what I'm saying? And they're like, no, he got hurt. And I'm like, yo, bro, you sent the message.
Yeah, I was like, it's all Mitch got hurt.
Yeah, and then I checked the web, and I'm like, wait, he got hurt on the only play that he was in the other night. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, yeah, this is classic. It just reminds me of like just like a Bears storyline. Like, this guy comes in for one play. First off, I don't even know why he played the one play in the first place.
Picked up 2 yards.
Like, if you want, I guess you want to get him involved. But that was my favorite storyline. He comes in and his career thus far has just been rough. I feel kind of bad. But yeah, that was my. It's just like, how do you get hurt on the only play? You're already out.
First off, when it's all said and done, Mitch Trubisky will have made $17-18 million playing quarterback for the Chicago Bears.
Maybe more.
Kid from small town Ohio. He'll be just fine. I do not feel bad for him in the least bit.
Yeah.
His career probably hasn't gone the way that he planned, but there's definitely a lot more people to feel bad about than Mitch Trubisky, who's making like $5 million this year to come and run on a 2-yard run and get hurt. Now, when I first heard that, you know what it reminded me of? You remember in Any Given Sunday when they're like, Cherubini got hurt. He's like, the backup quarterback, like, what happened? You fall off the bench?
Yeah, that's
what I thought about it. It's like Mitch Trubisky's hurt. It's like, what happened? He fall off the bench? Like, what's going on here?
What do you mean he's hurt?
No, but it is like the most Bears storyline, like a 2-yard nothing play, throwaway play. That like, for whatever reason, when you put him in, everybody in the stadium, he's like Cordero Patterson 2.0. If you put him in, you know that you're not having him throw it back there. So 100% he was going to run, and then now he hurts his shoulder. And now I think I tweeted it. I don't know if I still have it up, but they showed the quarterbacks that the Bears are working out. Here we go. Jake Rudock and Kyle Sloter. Now, you watch a lot of college ball. I don't know these folks.
I don't watch that much college ball.
Jake Rudock could knock on my door and say, "Hey, I'm Jake Rudock. How you doing?" And I'd be like, "You need to leave. I don't know you."
Please,
get off my doorstep. Yeah, guy, I don't know. What are you selling? So,
hey, shout out my guy Jay Nash in the comments. Gurney's finest talking about Trubisky. You already know.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
but let me ask you this. So I was talking to a dude on the street. Literally, I went to get a sandwich, and we ended up talking Bears football. I was wearing my No Ketchup hat, and he asked me about it. I'm like, oh, I got a podcast. Check it out, me and my guy. And we were talking about Trubisky, and he's like, man, we should use him like a running back. Like, we don't have no use for him anymore. We should just run him like off sweep.
That's what I was saying. But it was an option quarterback.
Like, yeah, exactly. It's
Eric Crouch.
Yeah, exactly. And would that be petty, or is that a viable option? I mean,
oh, it's 100% petty. I was saying that just call up Mike Shanahan and have him run that RG3 offense from when he literally destroyed the guy's career. So, yeah, I mean, if that's what you got to do. Look, I'll always go back to that play on Sunday when there was daylight for Nick Foles. Yeah. And instead of taking it, he hesitated and took a 3-yard sack. And it's like, if that's the offense that we're going to be running, and I've kind of come around to this, man, if that's what it's going to look like, you might as well throw Trubisky back in there. You're not losing anything from passing. It's not like Foles is lighting up with his arm right now. And you might as well have that option to convert those type of plays. And yeah, throw him out there on naked bootlegs, let him run. 2 years ago, Trubisky was one of the best running quarterbacks in the NFL. Have his ass run. Run for his NFL. Tell him, hey, man, go out there and run for your NFL career.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I mean? Taysom Hill's making $16 million this year to not throw the ball.
Yeah.
So maybe you can be Taysom Hill 2.0. Go ahead and run your ass off, run some naked bootlegs. You know what I mean? Run the option. Matt Nagy can get as creative as he wants to. You can run the Tommy Frazier, Nebraska, Eric Crouch situation if you want to. Like, go for it, man. I'm all for it.
Well, look,
at this point, you ain't blocking for nobody.
Yeah.
And now you're going to be running, like 4 backup offensive linemen on Sunday? It's ridiculous.
Yeah, we'll get into the NFL, but
they cut Teddy Ginn. Salute Ryan Pace. First move makes sense.
It could the creativity is not there, and you could get creative with him in the backfield doing a lot of different things. So
100%.
We'll leave it there.
Why not?
Favorite story of the week. Shout out Mitchell Trubisky. Get healthy, bud.
Okay, man. Out there in Gurney chilling. That's how I was curious. I drove by his crib and like, listen, man. All I'll tell you is if I was like 22 and I had money in the bank and I was Mitch Trubisky, the last place I'd live is Gurney, but the absolute last place I'd live is where he lives in Gurney. It's like at the back end of like a subdivision.
It's a trash spot.
It's like way back out there. It's like it's terrible.
You said his shit right by Six Flags, right by the Raging Bull?
Pretty much, yeah, man. You can see him from the American Eagle. You know what I mean? The giant drop. You'd be like, oh, that's Mitch grilling steaks.
Trubisky could right by Batman.
It's over there by that big ass dumbass water park over there. The indoor joint with the cabins. Yeah, like yeah, bro. I don't know what he's on. I would have been downtown all day.
Man, that's funny stuff.
Uber me to Hallis Hall.
All right. Let's move over to the weekend preview. Now, the NFL, we're in week 9. Like I said the other day, half the season's over with. The game last night, let me give you a little precursor. This is what Kyle Shanahan should have said to Nick Mullins last night after the game.
I told him that he would do a better job for us right now, taking a shower and coming back and watching the game than going out on the field. Simple as that.
Simple as that. Look, Nick, go ahead, take a shower, my boy.
Hey, it's over with, man. Thank you.
Thanks for coming by.
Thanks for coming out. Though he did have a touchdown that was dropped.
Yeah, he did.
His tight end. He had a dime to his tight end that was dropped, but other than that, they never stood a chance. That was a bludgeoning.
From the opening kickoff, let's start there.
Hey, well, you knew Aaron Rodgers was coming to San Fran with revenge on his mind too, because they got smacked up there last year in the playoffs. So,
yeah, let's start there. Let's start NFL Week 9. What did you think of the game last night? Green Bay seems like they continue to get lucky and play squads with a bunch of injuries. Offensive line is beat up. The only real team they've played all year that was at somewhat full strength was Tampa Bay, and they got their doors blown off. Then they play the Vikings,
lose
in Green Bay, who's healthy coming off a bye, and they lose.
Yeah.
So, talk to me about where are you at with the Green Bay Packers in the NFC, and then I got a question for you about Devontae Adams.
So I think the Packers are going to easily run away with this division and they'll get into the playoffs. But I think overall they're not good enough to be a true contender in the NFC. Like, I don't think they're not better than Seattle. I don't think that they're necessarily better than our boys, the Arizona Cardinals. So I think they're going to have some trouble come playoff time. But I think they are going to cruise into the playoffs. But that's a flawed team. Like you said, whenever they face a team with any competition and healthy, they have some major issues, but they beat up on the shitty teams, and luckily they play in a division full of shitty teams. So they will walk into the playoffs. They'll probably win 10 or 11 games easily. But I don't think they're going to make any noise. The team's too flawed.
Very flawed. And I mean, when you're dealing with injuries and stuff like that, but they seem to have a lot of flaws, but they do beat up and close out games they're supposed to win. They typically win. That's why it was
Aaron Rodgers has to be all world for them though.
Yeah.
And it's been that way forever. But like, especially the last couple of years, like their defense is trash.
Well, speaking of all worlds, let me ask you this. Davante Adams, after the game yesterday, came out and said, he's like, cut it out, man. I'm the best wide receiver in the league. Does he have an argument?
If I had $1 for every time the best wide receiver in the league told us after a game that they were the best wide receiver in the league, we'd be rich. He's definitely one of them. I mean, his problem is staying healthy. You know what I mean? If he could stay healthy, yeah, he's absolutely up there. I think obviously he's helped by the fact that he plays with a great quarterback. But yeah, I mean, no, he's not the best wide receiver in the league. I think I would put with my man over there and DeAndre Hopkins ahead of him. DK possibly at this point in time ahead of him. So no, I don't think he's the best receiver in the league, but he's up there.
Look.
He's a difference maker.
Hey, man, Aaron Rodgers was 25 of 31, 305, 4 touchdowns. Davante Adams had 10 receptions, 173 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah, 3 last week, 2 the week before.
On 12 targets. This is why I think he's higher on the list than maybe others might think. Everybody knows Aaron Rodgers is going to throw this man the ball. He doesn't have any other options. He doesn't have anywhere else to go with the ball. And no matter what, in any situation, Davante Adams seems to get open, get separation, and make a play. Yesterday on 4th down, first off, you want to talk about being confident in your offense and your quarterback. Obviously, it's Aaron Rodgers, but still, it's 4th and 1. You run a rollout to where your only option is Davante Adams. He goes out, all types of PI, puts one arm out, grabs it. The DB almost pulled his glove off. He was literally his wide receiver glove was almost pulled off his hand. I don't know, man. He really might be top 3 for real. He is a massive problem. He's the only weapon they have, and everyone knows that going into the game. And he has on 12 targets, he has 10 catches for 173 yards. He has to be in that discussion. I kind of gave up on saying who's the best wide receiver in the league because it's
so much of it relies on quarterback.
Yeah, and it's just really fucking tight.
Yeah, it's
really tight up there.
Well, I'll say this, man. Like he is absolutely one of the best. But if I were to ask you how many 1,000-yard receiving years does Davante Adams have? What would you say? He's been in the league since 2014.
Well, you already stripped it down. So it's only like 3, 2,
1. He's got 2 years, which he finished with 997 yards, but he actually only has the only year that he's ever had more than 100 catches and more than 1,000 yards was 2018 when he was fully healthy at a monster year, 111 catches, 1,400 yards and 13 touchdowns. But other than that,
he played 16 games.
I think that's a 16-game season. Yeah, like I said, man, he needs to stay on the field in order to be healthy. In order to I mean, I guess 16 games, 13 games, 16 games, 14 games, 15 games, 12 games. So he's missed some games.
Yeah.
I don't. If I'm picking wide receivers, I'm probably getting to Davante Adams 4th or 5th right now.
And he's young too.
Yeah, he's young. He's good, man. I mean, is
Davante Adams better than Allen Robinson?
It's hard. Allen Robinson has literally never played with a competent quarterback.
So you're saying if he was
Allen Robinson's getting 1,000-yard receive. He's going to get 1,000 yards this year. The offense might not even have 1,000 yards.
So the offense is going to have 1,500 yards.
Yeah, exactly. Allen Robinson going to have 1,200 of them. So it's hard for me to sit up here and be like, man, Allen Robinson, because if Allen Robinson was playing with Aaron Rodgers, like we've seen Allen Robinson plays that are left out there. You know what I mean? And those are the ones that are missed. How about the ones where he doesn't even get the ball thrown his direction? So it's hard to say. Right. Davante Adams is probably physically more gifted than Allen Robinson because Davante Adams is more of a freak, whereas Allen Robinson is just more of a just great receiver. It's hard to say, man. All of it's about quarterbacks. Like that's why you wonder, like, how does DK Metcalf slip to the 4th round? Because if your college quarterback is suspect, I don't know who the quarterback was at Ole Miss, but I can tell you he probably wasn't very good. You don't see these guys. He was the second receiver at Ole Miss. Your quarterback sucks. You don't see these guys, so you have no idea.
Who's the old quarterback from Ole Miss? Some Kelly. He was on what
Jeremiah
was
Masoli.
What's that?
Shout out Jeremiah Masoli.
Shout out Jeremiah
Oregon Duck.
Yes. Wait,
Masoli was nice.
The names that come up on this podcast from week to week is hilarious. Shout out Jeremiah Masoli.
Salute.
Didn't Masoli come after Dennis?
Yeah, he came after Dennis Dixon. He was supposed to be the one, and then he got kicked out of Oregon, and he went to Ole Miss.
It was Dennis, Masoli, and then it was Mariota, right?
Mariota, yeah.
Yeah, bro. That was
and then Darren Thomas, I think Darren Thomas was between Masoli and Mariota because Darren Thomas was the year they went to the national championship. And that was with Darren Thomas and LaMichael James.
LaMichael James.
LaMichael James is a problem in college.
Man, returner, just get it to him in space.
LaMichael was an issue.
When you said Darren Thomas, that reminded me of Denard Robinson, Shoelace. Shout out Denard Robinson.
Shout out Shoelace, man. He had a couple of T in the NFL.
Shout out Shoelace, bro. He really
Appalachian State.
He really was getting juice off of not tying his shoes. That shit. Yeah. They highlighted that literally every broadcast.
Played for the Dolphins for a little bit.
Shout out Denard Robinson.
Yeah.
Oh, and don't let me get on my Michigan rant.
Oh, yeah.
Don't even let me get on this Michigan rant. We gotta save that for a whole.
That's a whole segment. I think you do a whole segment,
a deep dive on the Michigan football program, because that shit is a farce.
The farce,
bro. Oh my god, I was outdone. The Michigan football program is the biggest cap in football history.
Is this the part where Jamie drops off the podcast? she turned us off yet?
Like, the Michigan football program is complete. If I'm an Ohio State fan, I don't even entertain these clowns about anything. Oh my god, I felt so naive. I felt like
Sean thought Michigan had a whole bunch of titles in the 70s and 80s and just a run of dominance. Yeah, didn't realize they only got one national championship since 1948.
Really, really quick. And it's a split national championship, by the way.
Yeah.
Shout out Charles Woodson.
Yep.
Let me just give you a quick recap of what I was reading and I was talking to Nick about. We were talking about college football, and for some reason, Bo Schembechler came up in my mind. And I'm like, let me go look at like the numbers on like Bo Schembechler. This is what happened. I was listening to Greeny, and he was talking about Harbaugh. And I was like, you know where I'm at on Harbaugh. I rock with him, but like when he's too much, he's got to go. But they were like, yo, if this guy leaves Michigan, he's going to get in a trailer and he's just never going to be heard from again, type of thing, right? So they were talking about like
Harbaugh. You really think that?
That's what Greeny was like, bro. I think if this guy leaves, like, there's nowhere else to go after Michigan. Like, he's gonna be like, he's just gonna
like no one will hire him, or he doesn't want to work.
No, like he doesn't want to work anymore. Like, what is it like?
They get a lot of money,
right? So, really quick, I know we're super off topic right now, but Harbaugh came up, so I'm like, then I started thinking about Lloyd Carr, and I was like, let me go look at Schembechler's numbers.
The true greatest coach in Michigan history, Lloyd Carr.
I mean, the statue guy, all types of shit. You say Bo Schembechler's name in Michigan, you know what I'm saying? That's like saying Jordan in Chicago. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Woody Hayes.
This guy didn't even fucking win any titles. Bo Schembechler won no national titles, was 2-12 or 2-8 in the Rose Bowl. This guy was a bum, honestly. Like, if we're being honest, he won a bunch of Big Ten games, and then after that, everybody smacked him up. He never won any titles. It's the biggest scam in college football history. And then he went on to be like he went on to run like the Detroit Tigers, like clout all over the place, bro. We'll talk about it another time.
Sean can't even fly over Ann Arbor after today.
Yeah, I'm sick. Ann Arbor makes me sick now.
You're out of their airspace.
They're full of cap. Shout out Woody Hayes.
So you're saying between that and them celebrating a team that didn't even win a Final Four, Michigan is just all cap?
This all cap over there.
Even the Fab Five, is that team all cap because they got no title?
No, they're not all cap because they had some players. But the football program is a bunch of cap, dog.
Shout out Charles Woodson, though.
Shout out Charles Woodson, though. Real shit. Shout out Tom Brady.
Shout out Tom Brady for real.
Yeah. Okay. We got to talk about that another time. I'm way off topic. But to get back to the NFL.
Hail to the Victor's March.
Yes. Devontae Adams is up there to close that conversation. He's definitely one of the best in the league. One of the most impressive things to do in the NFL is go crazy when everyone on the field knows you're getting the ball, and when it's 3rd and 6 or 3rd and 7 or whatever, he needs a big play. Aaron Rodgers is dropping back and he's throwing it to Devontae Adams. That's why Barry Sanders is my favorite running back of all time, because for literally 10 years straight, everyone that played Detroit knew that they were going to turn around and give it to 20, and he would go ballistic regardless.
Yep.
And he would make people look dumb. So that's why my favorite running back is Barry Sanders, and that's why I also rocked with his running style. It was crazy. But give me what's another big game that you're looking forward to this weekend for the NFL?
I mean, obviously the Bears and the Titans game. To me, I think that this particular game is going to kind of give us where our season's going to go. If we lose this game,
this is like the final straw.
This is pretty much the final straw. Yeah, I think if we lose this game, you can go ahead and close the books on the 2020 Chicago Bears. I know a lot of people have already. But I think if we lose this particular game, I think that you're just talking about a nosedive for us. Also, like Baltimore and Indianapolis.
Yeah.
I think that'll be a good game. I think Baltimore needs a W. I think they need to go into Indy and smack them around. I think Lamar Jackson needs a big time performance just to kind of get them off his back. I know that was our storyline last week, just kind of the troubles with the Baltimore Ravens and kind of the narrative out there. Just go out there. Indianapolis, a good team, good defense, playoff contender. Go in there and kind of do your thing. If I had to pick another game, obviously Saints and Buccaneers, I think will be fun. I don't know if I'm going to be able to watch it because I honestly can't handle the touchdown. I know you talked about it last week too. It's going to be all about this touchdown record, and I just want to watch the game. Yeah. So it'll be a lot of that, but I think that'll be exciting too. So those are my big games, and obviously my boys, the Arizona Cardinals, are back this weekend.
Yeah, bro, we're gonna touch on
cover time, Kyler.
We're gonna touch on them on best bets. Let's actually talk about that game right now, and then we'll get into it later on as well. I think a big thing for Cardinals Dolphins game is in Arizona. With all the hoopla that happened last week against the Rams for the Dolphins, when they had a punt return, they had a scoop and score. It kind of went under the radar that Tua looked like trash.
He threw for like 50 yards, right?
Yeah, I mean, he looked super suspect. No one's really talking about that for whatever reason, because they got a big win, and I guess he gets a pass because it's his first full start. But now you go on the road. The Cardinals are coming off a bye, off of a big win against Seattle at home. They got to stay at home, recharge, and then now they get to gear up for a rookie quarterback. Do you fall under the mantra that, the rookie quarterback doesn't really get his real first start till he goes on the road?
Yeah, I think, yeah. I mean, he's got to go into that tough environment, and you want to see how he holds up. So, yeah, I 100% agree with that, and that's a tough road game. Also, going into, we talked about it last week, playing in Arizona, teams just have a hard time playing out there. I agree with that 110%.
I mean, yeah, and people are like, yo, there's no fans. I mean, dude, you still got to travel. You're still not in your element. You're still not part of that. It'll be a little easier, but
Is there a bigger soldier in the NFL than Flores at this point? Last year, it's like, hey, we're going to trade away every single player that we have and have you play with a bunch of JV guys, and he still comes through and wins a few ball games. Yeah. This year, the team is rolling. It's like, hey, man, we kind of need to see Tua. So why don't you go ahead and take out your vet, which, again, we know the deal with Fitzpatrick. Eventually, it falls apart. But it's like, hey, take out your vet. We want to get an early look at Tua. And he's like, yeah, fine, whatever, I'll do it.
So you saying you think that came from up top?
Yeah, for sure that came from up top, 100%.
Like, yo.
Yeah. Hey, this is great.
It's time.
But at the same time, like, it's not, we know what happens with Fitzpatrick. He gets hot and then he gets unbelievably cold and stays that way. So, I don't necessarily disagree with it, but at the same time, like, he's got those boys playing good ball. He probably feels more comfortable with the veteran quarterback, obviously. But I think that comes from the organization for sure. Brian Flores isn't like, oh yeah, I want to get a look at Tua for next year. He's trying to win ball games today.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was one of those conversations that just happened before the season.
But he probably knew, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Black head coach, black GM, man. So they're probably in sync.
They in sync.
Like, yo, Brian, man, come through. I gotta holler at you real quick.
Yeah, real shit.
We got those two out there. Yeah, slide by the crib, man. I'm over here on Biscayne. Yeah. So I mean, I think last week, but he didn't have to do a lot last week. Again, they were making big plays all over the field. That's a good team. That's a well-coached team. They have a really good defense. They have some playmakers. It's one of those things that if Tua becomes a good player, like that's a squad you got to watch out for. All of a sudden, that AFC East, you take Tom Brady out that division, it's a whole new ball game. Teams have hope.
Whole new ball. Hope. It's a big thing. Hope.
So Tom's gone? All right, yeah.
Yeah.
Belichick doesn't play quarterback.
Yeah. Very apparent.
Yeah.
Tua Tagovailoa, 12 of 22. 93 yards and a touchdown last week against the Rams.
Nice touchdown.
So, yeah, and it was early too.
Yeah, it was real.
It was in like the first or second drive he threw the touchdown, and he literally did it. And they didn't have to do too much because, like I said, the defense and the special teams was going crazy. But that's something to watch.
You probably want him getting used to game speed too, though. I mean, he hasn't played in so long. I mean, even he got hurt week 8 last year for college.
I mean, yeah, it was about halfway.
Yeah. So, I mean, he's been out of game action so long, so you just want him getting his reps. I think you're 100% right. Send him out to Arizona, in that tough environment and having him kind of prepare for his first real game as an NFL quarterback in that environment against a really good ball club is going to be huge for him. And they have a good defense over there, too. So
yeah, Budda Baker. Shout out Budda.
You love Budda Baker. That's your man.
I love Budda Baker. He's good.
He's a playmaker.
I love safeties that can do everything.
Yeah.
Like you ask Budda to cover, no problem.
Yep.
You ask Budda to come blitz, no problem. He's got ball skills. He tackles. Yeah, I those are the type of guys that I love.
So are you an Ed Reed guy, or are you a like a Mike? I don't even know. Like who would be more of a?
Or like a
Ed Reed was
just
like a freelancer. Yeah, he was just doing his thing.
Ed
Reed was playing center field.
Ed Reed's the best safety of all time. and Ed Reed would come up and lay the lumber.
Yeah, 100%.
No problem. So shout out Jared Goff, 61 attempts last week.
Jared Goff?
Yeah.
Anytime Jared Goff throws the ball 61 times, you're not in for anything. That wasn't in the game. That's a whole lot of communication between him and McVay then. Throw left, throw right, throw downfield. Dump off. Safety.
Straight up. Sean McVay, when you were playing video games and you were a shorty, was your brother next to you saying, B's open, B's open.
B's open, B. Hit X, man. What you doing, man?
Yeah, bro. Why?
They got a special earpiece for him.
Why, bro? Hit Y. He's open. R1.
Yeah, R1. Scramble. L2. Scramble.
Yeah, man. So we talk. Yeah, we could, dude. Sean McVay. Golf owes him all his bread.
Putting green golf.
Yeah, the biggest. Yeah, I mean the biggest game, and it's on Sunday night. Saints Bucks. It's really tough to beat your in-division rival twice. Especially now you have to go on the road. It's Sunday night.
AB
is in town.
It's coming.
I cannot wait to watch AB. On Sunday night, it's going to be amazing. I hope. And Tom's going to throw this guy the ball 15 times.
Easily.
Like, especially.
Isn't Mike Evans out? He's questionable?
I think Evans is playing. I think Godwin is questionable. They were talking about if they're going to work him back in.
Doesn't matter. AB's coming.
Bro, AB better than both of those dudes.
100%.
I don't care what. Listen, Chris Godwin is a monster. Mike Evans is a monster. AB is an all-time great. Like, it's like him or not, think what you want. AB is a dog.
How old is AB? Is 31?
No, I would guess he's like 33. I think didn't he play like 4 years at Central Michigan? Like he's
32.
32. Okay, yeah. So, dog, shout out AB, man.
AB for afterburners.
Yo, we were talking about Mike Evans. Mike Evans' quarterback touchdown tree is tough.
Johnny Manziel.
He catching touchdowns for Manziel. He got all legends in his touchdown tree. Jameis. Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Yo, that just made me think.
Tom Brady. Yeah, bro.
If you're Mike Evans, you went from playing with Manziel, who's nuts, to Jameis Winston, who's nuts, to Tom Brady, who's like the ultimate calming force at quarterback.
Yeah.
It's like I've been through it all, man. I had cocaine Manziel, crab leg Jameis. I had them all. And I got family man Tom. Yeah, Fitzmagic. I done seen it all, man. Whatever you know.
And
whatever you throw at me,
I'll catch it all. Right.
I'll catch all of them.
I catch all of them, by the way. So, yeah, Mike Evans. But yeah, like, yo, say what you want. AB is better than all those guys. And I am very confident that he comes out Sunday night and looks like he never left.
Yeah, I'm not worried about that at all. He's been in shape. That's what he does. He works out. And
I loved his press conference, bro. You didn't hear it?
No, I didn't hear it.
It was your typical guy that, you know, was out there living life very fast, burning the candle at both ends, that had come back down to earth and was just like humbled a little bit. You think? I mean,
no, AB's still AB, man.
you said that shit was for the cameras.
He just wants to play with Tom Brady. That's all. He wants to play football, man.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean.
Every week you're away from football, the less relevant you are, and he needs to be relevant.
But that's what I mean, though. Like he sounded like he's ready to actually lock in and play ball.
He's sick of being at the crib with all them damn kids.
Yeah, so I feel it.
Daddy's got to go to work.
No, for real. And,
I gotta go to work.
he was wearing his TB12 stuff.
Oh yeah, he's living with Tom.
Yeah, man, I love it. Bro.
He's living in the mansion. He's kicking it with Tom.
You think AB and Giselle be like chopping it?
Probably. But here's some good ass eggs, Giselle. Thank you so much. And then he goes live. He's like, "It's me and Tom. It's the good eggs."
Nah, real shit. You think AB be chopping it with Giselle for real?
Yeah, 100%. Why not?
Like they'd be in the kitchen.
They're at the breakfast table. AB, Tom, Giselle. Yeah, he's just kicking it, talking with her, eating an apple. She's like, "So what you gonna do today, Antonio?" He's like, "Oh, I got practice." She's like, "Cool." She's like, "I'm going to Milan or some shit." You know?
Would you leave your shorty around AB though?
If you're Tom Brady, yes. Tom Brady confidence level on 17,000, bro. She can't go backwards like that.
Nah, she's not fucking with AB.
She's not fucking with AB. Nah, she don't need that. Tom's Tom Brady.
Can you imagine that scandal, bro?
If AB was taking out Giselle.
I let you in my home?
Yeah, I let you in my home. And AB's like, "Hey. Bentley stays the broke home. I'm not tell you." Hey, always booming.
Always booming, AB.
No, I'm sure they're kicking it, man. That house is probably so big. AB's got his own little wing.
Yeah, I honestly wouldn't be surprised if he even saw Giselle.
Never sees her.
Yeah, absolutely.
She's like, "Oh, Tom's friend is staying in the guest room."
Yeah,
Tom's little football buddy.
Exactly. She's on the phone like, yeah,
they're playing catch or something. I don't know.
Tom's football buddies in the other.
How much is that deal worth for a good $100 million? Okay, I'll be there. Thank you, Gucci. Tom's just playing ball. It's okay.
That's funny stuff.
The dynamic in that crib is crazy though, because he's like one of the most famous athletes in the world, but literally doesn't hold a freaking anything to her. It's in terms of like global success and profile, and you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, he's like, she doesn't do anything for him, or he doesn't do anything for her. Like, nothing. It's like whatever. It's light.
Yeah,
like
he's like, "Tom, get your broke ass out of here."
A little boyfriend. Yeah, facts.
Get your broke ass out of here.
All right, let's move over to this will be a reoccurring segment. For the time being, we're gonna call it just flat out winners, because that's what you need out here. Your best bets, call it a best bet, call it whatever you want, but you need it to be a winner. And to pay homage to our favorite press conference of all time, salute Mike Singletary.
Believe this. I would rather play with 10 people and just get penalized all the way until we got to do something else, rather than play with 11 when I know that right now that person is not sold out to be a part of this team. It is more about them than it is about the team. I cannot play with them, cannot win with them, cannot coach with them, can't do it. I want winners. I want people that want to win.
I want winners.
Can't do it. I'd rather get penalized up and down all over the place.
Yeah, I want winners.
Can't do it. Yo, and he's got the mock turtleneck on. Like, Shout out Mike
Yeah.
Singletary.
Yeah, shout out Mike Singletary. So I want winners. We're gonna give y'all some winners. I got a little college sprinkled in here, so we're gonna go Nick first. And I'm gonna go through the games. For if Nick doesn't like it, it's plain and simple. It's a
Can't do it.
can't do it. Gotta leave it alone. Like, you want to bet the Cowboys?
Can't do it.
No, I can't do it. So we're gonna go through, and if he likes it, we'll stop.
Winners.
That's a winner. Just like that. You feel what I'm saying? Big Nick the Quick. Broncos or Falcons? You got anything on there?
Are we talking a line or just straight up?
We're just talking like, is any of your betting interest on that game?
Oh.
If not, you say can't do it. We keep it moving.
Can't do it.
Denver's on the road. Forget about it.
Seahawks, Bills. Well, you got your best bets.
Yeah, no.
So stick to 'em.
I don't like it.
Can't do it.
Bears, Titans.
Oh, can't
do it.
not at all.
Ravens, Colts. Baltimore down to -1.5.
Yeah.
You're taking
Winners.
Winners, Baltimore.
Why?
I think, like I said, it's a big spot for Lamar Jackson. I do not trust Phillip Rivers against Baltimore's defense. He's going to give them the ball. They like to take the ball away. See a high turnover affair here and leading in Baltimore's favor. Baltimore by 3.
First winner is the Ravens for Big Nick the Quick.
Baltimore
All right.
by 3.
Panthers, Chiefs, -10.5 for the Chiefs.
Yeah, no.
Can't do it.
Chiefs line's getting absurd.
They too much?
Getting absurd. I understand last week, but 10.5 against the Panthers are okay.
Lions, Vikings is off the board.
Should be
Our
off.
boy Stafford is dealing with some COVID protocol, whatever you want to call it. So he's out. We won't touch that one. Giants, Washington -2.5. Interesting little game, low key.
You should have a picture. You should have a video of a plane taking off a runway or a spaceship going out of this world, because I'm never touching anything that has to do with the NFC East, and you know this.
Can't do it.
Give it to me again.
Can't do it.
One more time, please.
Can't do it.
Stay away from the NFC East at all costs. I don't know what's wrong with y'all. I tell y'all every single week, stop betting on this division of football.
Yes, it's true. All right.
Cannot.
Texans, Jaguars. Houston is -7. They're coming off a bye, and the Jags are playing a quarterback that's a 6th rounder, I believe, that's never made a start in the league.
What's his name?
I'd have no idea.
Yeah, no.
Just
can't do it.
Houston is toxic. I don't care who the Jags are playing. You can't. Houston should never be a touchdown over anybody.
Yeah, that's that's the real facts.
Yeah,
like
Houston should not be. I don't know who we get off giving Houston a touchdown over anybody.
Philly ended up covering the Cowboys the other night, but they were giving up like 10 points. I'm like, bro, Philly can't give 10 points to fucking anybody.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Okay, Raiders, Chargers. It's a pick 'em right now. Opened Raiders Raiders +2, and it's been bet down to an even pick 'em situation.
Yeah.
Winners.
Raiders.
Why?
Chargers can't get out of their own way. They blow huge leads. I actually like the Raiders overall. I think they're a decently coached football team that has some things that I do like about them. I don't think Carr is the worst quarterback in the league. He's just David Carr, or Derek Carr, whichever one he is. I don't mind them. I like the Raiders in that game. I do not like the Chargers for gambling purposes at all.
Interesting. Okay, let's move to Steelers, Cowboys. Cowboys are plus, Steelers -14. Let me try to sell you the Cowboys. Let me see what your thoughts are. Steelers are coming off a huge game at Baltimore. Our guy Mike Tomlin's a big rah-rah guy. He gets his guys up for big spots. This is the exact opposite of that. The Cowboys are starting a different quarterback. I don't know who that is either.
They haven't even announced who their starter is.
Yeah, or I think they might have said who it is, but I've never heard of Buddy.
Where are they? Oh yeah, I mean,
He's like Danucci. You know what I'm saying?
shout out Danucci.
But
Big moment for the Danucci family there.
Yeah, fact. Shout out to the Danucci family. They're getting 14.
Yeah.
No.
Winners. Dallas Cowboys have scored 22 points over the last 3 weeks.
Winners.
You're gonna take the Steelers.
That team is full on implosion, full on playing for nothing.
Beyond bad.
Their defense is awful. If they're playing a quarterback that was somehow behind Danucci, I don't know who that man is or where he was playing football at last week. They might call the local community college, the high schools down there. What's South Lake Carroll, whatever the big high school is in Dallas over there that all the guys come from, wherever it is. I don't know where they're finding a quarterback because he's not anybody who's ever played in the NFL. He's not anybody who probably played Division I football. I'm going with the Steelers on this.
Winners.
Steelers are trying to show everybody they're the best team in the AFC. Why not go into Dallas and beat them by 30 points? I don't care if it's in Jerry Jones's backyard.
What's that, on the yacht?
Yeah, if it's on the yacht with Jerry footballs, they're going to trounce this team. Dallas cannot score.
So to recap so far,
you can't score and you can't stop scoring. You usually get blown out. You gave up 25 points to the Washington Redskins. Come on, y'all.
That is a recipe for a blowout. If you can't score and you give up a lot of points, you're typically
not too many places you can go.
You're going to get blown out a lot. So Ravens -1.5.
Mm-hmm.
Steelers -14. And then we arrive at the Dolphins and Cardinals.
Oh, I got the Raiders pick them too.
And the Raiders pick them. Yes, that's right. Ravens -1.5. Las Vegas Raiders on the pick 'em over the Chargers. Steelers -14. And you got another one.
Yeah.
Dolphins Cardinals.
Mm-hmm.
Winners.
Easy. Dolphins going across the country with a rookie quarterback against a good defense and a very confident ball club in a tough spot against a team that covers left and right. We've talked about this before. I think that number is interesting to me. I don't know how the Cardinals are only laying 3.5 in that because I just feel like they're a supremely better team.
4.5.
Is it 4.5 now?
Yeah.
Okay. Supremely. I guess that's a little bit more realistic. I would even go to 6 on that one just because we talked about it. You're talking about a rookie quarterback going across the country in a tough environment against a good defense.
Interesting spot.
To me, that's easy for me. That's a ticket I will 100% be placing this weekend.
Okay.
You know how I feel about the Cardinals.
Cardinals -4.5 over the Dolphins at the crib. You're not touching Saints, Bucks, or Patriots, Jets, correct?
No, the Patriots are. I mean, the Jets suck, but the Patriots aren't that great either. And then the Bucks, Saints, no.
Hey, I'll say this before I get into my picks. I'll say this. The Jets have looked incrementally better each week. A little bit.
What, they completed a pass?
A touchdown.
What's the measuring stick here?
A touchdown at the crib versus the Patriots. Don't be surprised if that game is tight. I think Bill Belichick has said everything, but I'm going to mail the rest of this season in.
Yeah, but he's not going to lose. He hates the Jets.
He has said everything, but I'm going to mail the season in, and they don't have to lose. They still have to cover a number.
Now, I'm surprised they didn't make big deals last week. I thought that they would for sure be big time sellers, so I guess I was wrong on that. But I think he's going to go in there, and even if he is punting on the season, he's just like, let me go beat the Jets by 30 real quick, just to feel good, and then I'll go to Nantucket for the rest of the year.
Nantucket.
You know what I mean?
Meet me on the East Coast.
With some crabs. Lobster roll, perhaps.
Crab cakes.
Yeah. So I'll put it this way, man. You could not convince me under any situation to ever bet the Jets. So if it's anything, it's a stay away.
Yeah, it's hard to argue with the stay away. I thought it was hilarious last night. Yo, all over the place. These Twitter sharps were like, yo, Niners +7. It's just inflated. It's like, bro, this
Mullins?
is obviously either the Packers or you stay home.
Yeah.
You absolutely do not bet the Niners.
But there's rules to this. You don't bet shit quarterbacks. You really have to look at quarterback when it comes down to it. He said, would I trust this man with my money? And that's why some of these games are easy for me. Phillip Rivers, I don't trust that man with my money.
Yeah.
Sam Darnold, I'm not trusting him with my money. I'm not trusting Kirk Cousins with my money. I work too hard for this. I'm not I'm not doing that. Why? So it's every week, it doesn't matter what the rest of their team looks like. Those guys are liable to throw games away for you. Kyler Murray, trust him with my coin.
Kyler Murray.
Just Patrick Mahomes, trust him with my coin. These guys are looking to cover.
No doubt.
So
okay, I'll tell you what I got. Let me tell you what I got. On Saturday, I got as much shit as I was just talking about the Michigan Wolverines. Give me the Wolverines -3 at Indiana on Saturday. Early game. Indiana
beat Penn State.
Indiana beat Penn State at home, and they probably shouldn't have.
Good. Yes, they should have. Everybody should beat Penn State everywhere.
And they turned it over 3 times against Penn State. They then turned it over 3 times against Rutgers. Michigan doesn't turn the ball over. Michigan wins every single game they play for the most part. That's not against Ohio State and Michigan State in the Big Ten. Everyone else they beat up.
Is the black quarterback good over there? I haven't watched too much.
Phoenix, something. He's like a lefty Phoenix. I can't remember.
Big ass dude.
He's an athlete. He's solid.
That's no. That means no.
No. He's
an athlete. Solid.
I had Indiana week 1 against Penn State, and he made some plays.
I meant Michigan's black quarterback.
Oh,
big guy.
Yeah, the big buddy.
Trash.
He can use his legs. He's all right. That he's had a lot of pressure on him for a couple of weeks. So I got Michigan -3. And speaking of Penn State, I'm just giving you what I've taken already, people. These are what I already am holding a ticket for. I have Michigan -3. Nick hates Penn State. They're 0-2. They're coming off a loss at home.
Sean didn't touch that one, everybody.
Yeah. They're coming off a loss at home against Ohio State.
Coming against a loss against society too, but
yes. I don't even know in my lifetime if Ohio State's or Penn State's been 0-3 to start the season. They are at home against Maryland. The line is 25. They're going to beat these boys by 40 points. So I'm leaning that way. I don't have a ticket yet, but
Maryland.
Keep your eye. They play 10 mile low.
You ever wonder why schools like Maryland even play football? Like, what are you trying to accomplish?
They got a black coach too, though, so we got to root for them.
Was it Loxley?
I don't even know.
I think he was U of I's offensive coordinator that year. That U of I was really good.
It's a black coach though. So.
Yeah. Shout out, Mike Loxley.
Shout out, Mel Tucker.
Give him extend him now.
I'm on the other side. So now let's move over to the NFL. I'm on the other side of your Raiders-Chargers pick. I like the Raiders at -1.5. I like the Raiders at -1. Now it's a pick 'em. I like the Chargers at -1.5. I like the Chargers at -1. I like the Chargers at a pick 'em. I think they've been playing really, really good football, and they've been shooting themselves in the foot and been blowing games late. They're at home,
which always makes the team a good idea to bet on.
Oakland. Well, I mean, I guess what I'm saying is it's time for them to actually close a game out and get a W. Oakland doesn't get any pressure. Oakland's defense is kind of soft, and I think the Chargers' defense is a little overrated, but it'll be solid enough. I think it's a high-scoring game, and I think the Chargers finally break through, and Herbert doesn't make a mistake late, and they get a W. So I'm on the Chargers. I already own a ticket.
Oh.
I'm also on the Cardinals. I agree with everything you're saying. I think it's a really tough spot for the Dolphins coming in there. I think they're getting a lot of juice and a lot of praise and a lot of love. I think the Cardinals take care of business at home. I agree with you as well. I think the line should be more like 6.5 to Arizona. So
which always makes things fishy.
Yeah. I'm gonna have I'm taking the Cardinals. I already have a ticket there. And then my last ticket I have is Bucks, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I didn't lay the points, but I did lay the -195 on the money line. I think it's going to be a close game. I also think Tampa Bay has too many weapons. I probably should have waited before I got a ticket here to see what happens with Mike Thomas and a couple other people. But I think it's really difficult to beat a team 2 times. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game, and I like the home team, and I like Tom Brady. Tampa Bay defends short passes very, very well, and we talked about this last week. Drew Brees' arm is dust, and that's where the ball will be.
Yep.
So,
like it.
Those are my
winners
for week 9. I'm ready. I'm excited. We haven't been listening to our own advice. We have this conversation every week that we should bet the Chiefs no matter what the number is, and we should take Alabama. And every week we look for other value somewhere else, and every week those boys continue to cover. Chiefs covered again last week. Give up 20, no problem. It's we're leaving money on the table quick. I don't know what we're doing.
Yeah, well, that 19, I'm fine. Never laying 19 in an NFL football game.
Yeah,
so.
we keep saying that every week.
I'm good off 3 touchdowns, man. That's a lot.
Bama, I can't lay 30. Like these motherfuckers winning by 50
against Coastal Carolina State.
Yeah, so, I mean, whoever. Shit. SEC squads, they be
yeah, I guess
35.
it is on the SEC. Well, the SEC figured out COVID though, man. So who knows? Nick Saban had it for 3 hours.
Nick Saban was back good.
When the 30 for 30 comes out on the Nick Saban COVID experience, I'll definitely be watching because that was crazy how they fooled that one.
Yeah, man.
Shout out the SEC.
Shout out the SEC. For your boy, Big Nick the Quick. That's it for No Ketchup. 11-6. I am your host, Sean Little. Make sure you subscribe everywhere, man. iTunes, Spotify, YouTube. The videos there. The audio's everywhere. Stay locked with us. No Ketchup Sports Talk via Chicago. We out here.